Sonic fans rejoice! 19 years may have gone by, but fans, especially Sonic fans, never forget. The time has come to play one of the long-lost Sonic games, Sonic X-treme. While the story of Sonic X-treme is long and, at times, difficult to follow, no one can deny the cult following that has grown from the ruins of this once promising title. While we did get a taste of the Project Condor tech demo running on the Sega Saturn, the truth is that for much of Sonic X-treme's development, the PC version was one of the main focuses. Let's get the credits out of the way early while you're still paying attention. The files were originally recovered by Tichua, who passed the archive on to Jolly Roger, who is the man in charge of handling the coding and getting things up and running. Andrew75 has been helping with game file organization, def file research, editing, and experimentation to help the game be a bit more playable. I am just here to provide some additional support and to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to check out what is an amazing effort by everyone involved. This tech demo was recovered from the ashes of Point of View following the studio's closure in 2010. The studio was tasked with making a Sega Saturn title based on the work that Sonic X-treme's primary developers, Sega Technical Institute, were doing. This build is based on STI's work. To be more specific, this build is based upon version 37 of the engine. The tech demo is just a slice of work that was being done on Sonic X-treme, frozen in time and luckily recovered in what is surely a small miracle. The code itself was in the middle of a huge rewrite, so that further compounds issues, as you might imagine. This was not intended for the general public, so if you're expecting a finished, polished game, you are bound to be disappointed. But what we do have is a small peek inside the minds of the creative staff at STI. On to the short technical details of this release. When the code was initially found, it only ran on Windows 95 with an NV1 graphics card. The NV1 is unique in that it uses quadrilateral polygons, rather than the triangles that have since become the norm. Now, very few of us have a system like that just lying around, so Jolly Roger took it upon himself to edit the code so that it could run on a modern Windows OS using OpenGL. Some minor tweaks to the code were made so that the build could actually be playable, but essentially, it is as if nothing has changed. If it didn't have to be changed, it wasn't. As a result, it is true that this is not just the code that STI had written, but is as close as possible while still being playable. For the game preservationists like myself out there, rest assured, the original files have been backed up and are preserved. Rest easy that steps have been taken to make sure that the code doesn't disappear overnight. We don't have to wait another 19 years to find the game again. So what is in this very first release based on version 37? There are two level files. One is the original file as it was when the code was found. The second file is a tweaked level file that has some changes that were made for playability's sake. It isn't a huge departure from the original, but when you see it, I think you'll appreciate the changes that have been made. Andrew75 spent over 3 days tweaking the def files to maximize the playability of the level. As you might imagine, getting things just right, especially with unfinished code, is quite difficult. When you're playing, you may notice that there's a tendency to go flying if the level is rotated a certain way. The balance that was found replicates the way the game seems to have played in the E3 trailers. Now, it can be tweaked and fixed a little bit, but that's at the expense of other gameplay mechanics. If you don't like the tweaks that were done or would like to make an attempt at fixing some of the issues by yourself, all of this is possible within the level files. Give it a shot and let us know what you come up with. Now, there is no sound or music, there are no real goals, rings cannot be collected. But that's how the code was at the time. I'm sure there will be bugs, so be sure to leave a note for Jolly Roger if you're experiencing anything terribly game-breaking. But do remember what this is, an amazing first release of a game that I thought would never see the light of day. Don't thank me, thank the work of everyone else involved, including Jolly Roger and Andrew75, the whole crew at Sega Technical Institute, Point of View, the Assembler Games community, Sonic Retro, and everyone else that has helped make Sonic X-treme what it is today. So why are you still watching this video? Go out and play it yourself!